Today we have an advanced exercise, so let me explain the idea for this exercise. So you can try it before you watch the HTML and JavaScript video for this exercise. It's a card. You can find it on bootstrap.com. This card for an offer and has counter down for this offer. So once the counter is over, the button will be unclicked, the counter will be removed, and an expired badge will be appeared in the top of the card. So let me try to change the time. So for example, I will make it April. So let me return and reload. So here is the expired badge and also the counter removed, and I can't click the button. So here is the whole idea. See you in the HTML video. Let me start creating the HTML structure using Bootstrap. So we will create expired badge, then the card, which has an image, title, text, and finally a button. Finally, we will create a division to hold the counter. So let me get started with the expired badge. But I will make the badge inside the card. So division and give it a class equal to card, and then let me create the badge within a span and give it a class equal to, you can find all of this on bootstrap.com. So badge, and make the background for this badge primary, and then give it an ID equal to badge. Let we type something inside this badge and type expired. Then let we create the image and give this image a class equal to card image and make it in the top of the card. Then let we make a division for the card body. So give it a class equal to card body, and this body will have a title h5 and give it a class equal to card title. Now let we call it JavaScript course. Then let we make the text within a paragraph tag and give it a class equal to card text and type 94% off. And then it will make the button. So the link for this button will be, let me grab a link. Then I will give it a class to look like a button. So class equal to btn and the color btn button primary. Then let we call it go to the offer Then let me make a division for the counter and give it a class equal to. It will make a background color for this counter, so I will make it warning and make the color white, so text white, and make it in the center, so text center, and make it rounded. Then let me give it an ID equal to counter. So now let me save and see the result. So here is the card, but let me add a width for it so it will be smaller, and also make it in the center of the page. So here let me add margin X auto, and let me add a shadow for it and make this shadow large. And then using align CSS style, I will change the width. So to make the width 15 rem. So let me save now and try. Nice. So here is the card in the center of the page and has a shadow. And here is the expired badge. And here is the button. But of course the counter won't appear now until we create the JavaScript code. So in JavaScript, we will specify the end of the offer and a function to create the counter. But before we start with JavaScript, let me disappear the expired badge. So make display none. So now let me get started with the JavaScript code. So I will define a variable which will be the end of the offer, and it will be new date and specify this date. So I want to expire this offer March, and today is 20 March, so I want it to expire, for example, 21 after 1 day, and the year is 2019, and then the time, so let me make it 23:59, and the seconds will be 0. Dot get time. So now we specify the end date for this offer, and get time is a function, so we have to make the parentheses. Then let we create the function which will create the timer and call it timer, and inside this function it will make the start date, and it will be equal to today's date and also the time, so new date dot get time. Then let me define a variable and call it difference, which will equal to the end minus the start. Then let me define the hours, the minutes, and the seconds. So variable to define the hours, and this variable will equal to math dot floor which is a function round the number to the nearest integer number. So inside this function, I want to return the integer number 4. The difference modulus 24 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 1000. What is those numbers? There are 24 hours in one day, and 60 minutes in 1 hour, and 60 seconds in 1 minute, and 1000 milliseconds in 1 second. And all this divided by 60 multiplied by 60 and multiplied by 1000. The first 60 is how many minutes in 1 hour, and the second one how many seconds in 1 minute, and finally how many milliseconds in 1 second. Then let we get the minutes. So I hope now you get the idea. So variable minutes equal to math dot floor, and then the difference modulus the number of minutes in 1 hour, 60 multiplied by the number of seconds in 1 minute, 60 multiplied by the number of milliseconds in 1 second, 1000. Then all this divided by 60 the number of seconds in 1 minute multiplied by the number of milliseconds in 1 second, 1000. So try now to define the seconds. I hope you managed it. So variable seconds and will be equal to math dot floor, then the difference modulus 60 multiplied by 1000 and divided by 1000. So now let we access to the counter document dot get element by id. The id is counter dot inner html will be equal to the number of hours, then colon, then what here plus, then plus the number of minutes, and plus colon plus the number of seconds. So now let we call the function. So set interval, then the name of the function, timer, and the number of milliseconds, 1000. So let me save and try. So there is something wrong. Let me check this wrong. Yeah, here seconds, but we defined here second. So let me save now. There is another wrong. This wrong always come when we wrongly define the date. So I think here it will be colon. So let me save now and try. Nice. So here is the counter, but it appeared after 1 second. So let me solve this. I will add set timeout and then timer, but uppercase letter, and then 0. So it will be appeared once we reload the page. No, there is also something wrong. Yeah, set time. What is this mess? Set time out. So it will save and try again. Nice. So it appears once we reload the page. But let me add some style for this counter. So let me change the width. So I will give it a class. Width will be 50%. Let me give it a margin top 1. So let me save and see. Nice. So now the counter is working well. Let me test it. So if the end here is less than the start, so to make it 19. So let me save and try. So the counter now doesn't make any sense. And also the expired page didn't appear. So let me solve this. So let we make sure if the difference is less than 0, in this case I want the counter to be none, and I want the expired page to be appeared, and finally the button to be unclicked. So let we change the counter. So document dot get element by ID, and the ID is counter dot inner HTML will equal to a space like this, none, or you can change the style, display none, and then let we appear the expired page. So page dot style dot display should be look, and then let we disable the link. I think I forgot to give it an ID. So here let we give it an ID equal to button. So here the ID button dot style dot pointer events will equal to none. So let me save now and try. So now the counter disappeared, the expired page appeared, and finally we can't click the link. Fabulous. And if we change the date here to make it 21, the counter returned back. And if we change the time to make it, I will make it after 1 hour, for example. So 7, let me save and try. So just remaining 59 minutes. So I think it's a helpful exercise. So feel free to add your own CSS style. Just what we care about is the JavaScript code, but the HTML is up to you. So try it. Good luck and see you.